Alright, what's up? Gonna record a video here going over the Tier 7 BiS list for Marksman Hunter in Classic Wrath. Can go over the talents real quick here. They're in here, obviously. So we only go 1 point in hit. I'm putting the other 3 points in Trap Mastery. I am getting True Shot Aura because I'm kind of assuming if you are the Hunter in the raid that you're going to be taking this. You could drop this point out and either get Arcane Shot or Hunter's Mark or Efficiency or Rapid Recuperation. Or if Sims come out and it is worth it to take Silencing Shot, you can swap that point to Silencing Shot. But we're taking the Trap Master talent for Trap Weaving. If you don't want to take this, you can swap these over into Arcane Shot or Hunter's Mark or whatever. I believe Hunter's Mark is more DPS for like the first. If you only have 3 talent points to spend and you're the only Hunter, you should put them in Hunter's Mark. However, if there's a different Hunter that already has this, these are worthless, right? So this is actually more personal damage, but this is more damage even if you're the only Hunter using it over Arcane Shot. So the 3 points are better in here. These are about twice as valuable in terms of DPS, if I remember correctly, compared to Arcane Shot. But you might need them in the other talents for mana issues. I don't actually know whether Efficiency or Rapid Recuperation is better for mana. Would need Sims for that. I don't have the glyphs in there, but so you can see in this setup we have 8% hit chance with those talents. That's 1 point in the hit. This means you don't need a Draenei in your party. We've got 1200 agility, 5300 attack power. If I lower this down, you can see our equivalency points are around 4500. To compare this to the pre-raid setup that I had in the last video, this is around 3500. You can see our crit chance here is around 35%, and in this setup we're all the way up to 44%. We've got a tiny bit more armor penetration and haste as well. Currently I have Greatness and Mirror of Truth in here as the trinkets. If you want to swap this over to Bandit's Insignia, or where's Fury of the 5 Flights, should be in here somewhere, or Grim Toll even if you get that instead. I don't know where Fury is in here, maybe I'm blind. Anyway, but yeah, we need Sims to actually tell the trinkets for sure one way or the other, but I'm just leaving these 2 in here for now because they don't have passive stats on them. So yeah, these are your BiS items. I also have Betrayer of Humanity in here. In all likelihood, this is going to go to some 2-hand melee DPS, and Journey's End is only a very minor loss compared to it, so more likely you're going to end up with Journey's End. But for specifically, it is technically a tiny fraction, barely of a percent better for you to have Betrayer of Humanity. Anyway, so yeah, Blue Aspect Helm comes from Malygos. And I also have the gems in here, so here you want the 8 agility, 8 crit gem, possibly. That's the wrong meta gem, I'm just now realizing. That should be that one. And this should probably be just an agility gem, because we're getting the set bonus down here. So that's a slight change. Anyway, slightly higher stats now. You get Fury of the Dragon Queen. This is from Eye of Eternity. It's the 25-man neck from Nax Ramis, though, the quest from Sapphiron, I believe. Is it Sapphiron, or I always get the 2 Frost Dragons mixed up. Sindragosa, one of the 2. Upstanding Spalders from Sartharian there. A couple people in other sets will have the Cryptstalker shoulders in here because you can see they're a very minor loss. They're only 6. So that's a good alternative. However, if you got those shoulders, you would want to use a second tier item in order to activate the set bonus. The problem is all the other tier options are some loss of DPS. I believe the lowest loss is possibly gloves, or no, not gloves. It might be Helm. I forget what the lowest loss is for the tier items. Let me see if I have it in my notes somewhere. It looks like I don't. Okay, well I can put that in a comment later. But anyway, so yeah, if you get the tier shoulders instead, somebody else, like if you have 2 hunters in your raid, one of them should get the upstanding Spalders and just go for 0-piece tier, and that should be slightly better for The other hunter can go for the tier shoulders and get the 2nd tier piece. And that way you can both like gear up together or whatever, rather than giving each hunter 1 piece of the tier and have them swap and be less good together because neither of you is activating the tier set bonus. Drape of Deadly Foe, good option here. It's slightly better than Aged Winter Cloak. That's a decent alternative. Chest Guard of Flagrant Prowess here. Pretty big gap to anything else. It's definitely the only one you want to use there. Slime Stream Bands, again, pretty big gap. The Handguards, these are leather, so you're going to be competing with a bunch of other classes than normal. Rogues, Feral Druids, etc. On these, but these are just super, super good. They're big gap between anything else. Torn Red Wrapping, pretty good. Belt of the Tortured, good alternative also option, but Torn Red Wrapping is good. It is also BOE, so a couple of these items are BOE, Slime Stream Bands, that you can pick them up on the auction house if you have a whole bunch of extra gold and they're there, but more likely you'll get them from your raid group and they'll be probably pretty reserved or contested by the guilds that are raiding. Leggings Felled Escape, another big gap between any other option pretty much. These are just strictly good. Belt of Renewed Fight, also from Alagos, another huge gap. You don't want to replace these with really anything else. These are definitely what you're looking to go for. Search Needle Ring, another BOE. Couple decent alternatives. Strong-Handed Ring is okay. Ring of Invincibility is okay. Titanium Impact Band, as you had it before. Band of the Kirin Tor, or the other pre-raid options. Like, these are a big gap, but really, these rings are kind of meh. You don't really get really great rings until Ulduar, pretty much. And then Trinkets, and then Envoy of Mortality. There's kind of no other really good option. That's a thrown weapon. You don't actually want that. Nerubian Conqueror is okay. Drake Mounted Crossbow is your pre-BiS. Aerosong you can kind of use, but realistically, you should be the first person that gets the gun, especially as MM probably over Survival. So yeah, that is what your Tier 7 BiS looks like as Marksman.